So this is an installation of a train horn, actually in my case two, MotoHorn brand train horns. And this is on a 2021 Ram 1500, to Laramie, but Ram 1500. The biggest issue when I got them was trying to figure out where to mount them. So everything is installed at this point, but I think hopefully this might help give some ideas to some other people. Once you pop your hood, you're like, well, there's not much place. I could figure out how to put one, but two of them was really difficult. And some people pulled off the grill. I didn't want to do that. So what I figured out was I had some space underneath. Put them up, my Ram up on some car ramps. Once you get the car ramps, definitely suggest putting some jacks underneath. But anyway, let me get down here and show you where I placed the horns, because that was the most difficult part. Sorry about this, but so right under the front. Try to get this flashlight situated. Hang on. Went to Home Depot and got about, I'd say it's about a 3-foot L bracket aluminum. There we go. 3-foot L bracket, and as you can see, here's one horn mounted to the L bracket, and underneath I have the second horn mounted upward. So yeah, boom, that's how I have them mounted. The L bracket, again, in any Home Depot or wherever, there is a piece of the frame here that had a hole, or I might have actually drilled one, and just put some stainless steel bolts with a washer. I think I used a nylon bolt just to keep it from backing out, a nylon nut rather. And that was, again, the hardest part, is figuring out how to mount that. And then it was just mounting the horn, 2 bolts that they supply, and I have the 2 air compressors mounted this way. You just have a positive and a negative. You're going to want a lot of 12 gauge auto wire, and also some connectors, female connectors. Make sure you have a good crimper. And then as far as underneath here goes, yeah, you're gonna, again, this is a 2 horn install. If you're only doing one, you just have a positive and negative. You'll have 2 wires, a positive and a negative. They're both red wire, but one's positive, one's negative, obviously. And then just ram them up through this area to the top, and I'll swing around the top. Sorry about all this. Just swinging around the top. Your wires come up from below. They suggested relays. I just mounted my relays. Again, there's 2 that I just kind of used some electrical tape and taped them together. But I mounted them right next to my battery. There's this hard plastic thing that I mounted them to. And they also recommend, I think it's a 40 amp fuse. Most of this stuff I bought off of Home Depot. So it's just 12 gauge wire with a 40 amp fuse. So I have the 12 gauge wire with the 40 amp fuse with a terminal connector. Just goes right to the bolt on my positive, and then it goes into the appropriate, and they have the printout manual, which they've improved upon lately. It's much better, onto the appropriate numbered pin on your relay. Negative, I think the negative terminal from the compressor below just goes straight to the negative terminal in your battery. And you see two there because I have two horns, but if you're just doing a one horn install, that's all you need. The 18 gauge wire, I think now that's primarily that's coming from the wire. The Ram has two stock horns, but you got to pop this piece off. Just take a screwdriver and pop those tabs up carefully. Make sure you hold on to these tabs, pop them up. They're just fasteners, plastic fasteners, but you want to remove this piece in order to get to the stock horns and the wire that goes from your steering wheel to your stock horns. There'll be two wires, positive and a negative. The positive, I think, is gray with a yellow stripe. That's your positive wire. Once you see that down where your horns are, and you're going to want to cut it, I don't know, give yourself a little bit of room, a good no less than an inch from the connector that goes into your stock horns. You want to cut it, splice it, and then run your 18 gauge wire, positive and negatives, from that using some wire connectors. Run them back to the appropriate connector on your relays there. This is a rush video. I've already done it, and I mostly wanted to focus on placement because, again, at least in this model, it was just trying to figure out where to put two of them. I'm going to hit the horn real quick just so you get an idea what two MotoHorn horns plus the two stock horns, which weren't very loud, sound like. Hopefully it comes through. It's pretty damn loud. I probably could have gotten away with one horn, but that's it. Hope it helps.